and welcome to Taking Back the Crown. I'm your host, Fallon Frank, and today I have a very special guest. This is Miss Bleu Nolte.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm so happy to have you.
Well, thank you for having me.
You've had a very exciting past week. It seems like past 2 weeks, I guess.
2 weeks, yeah.
Wow, that
really 10 months.
Whirlwind. Oh, I'm sure, prepping and all the things. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, and congratulations. Such a powerful debut. That's crazy. People's Choice and second runner-up.
Yeah.
And Miss USA. That's wild.
It was insane.
I know.
Even though it was second runner-up, I was like, hey, I know I worked hard, and this is what, I got. I was like so happy with it. And my coach called me when she was watching it, and she was like, you've looked so shocked when you got second runner-up. I was like, I was.
Yes, right? Because it's your first pageant, and most people do them for all of their life. It's kind of something that I guess your parents bring you into, and then so that's wild, going in there first time and being like, look at me, I'm here, I did this. That's great.
It was crazy.
What made you say yes to pageantry in the first place, especially as a newcomer, stepping into a space that can feel very intimidating?
I think a couple months before my father passed away, I knew that I wanted to do something that I could work hard for and, get in shape and become a better person and, worry about just, I guess, presenting yourself more. And so I did it, and it was like a random email, and I just signed up. I was like, I've always wanted to do this. It's been my lifelong dream to be Miss USA. So I was like, let's just do this. Why not? And so I applied, and I called my mom. I was like, I got to accept it. And like, we're going to do this. And she's like, okay, like, let's do this. So it was like the best thing for like us to do, like bonding and everything. And overall, I just have to say it was like the most empowering thing like anyone can possibly do for themselves as a woman. Like that's, young and wanting to put yourself out there.
Exactly. Very intimidating. I don't know. That's so awesome. I feel like, that's crazy. Wow. To be able to be like, you know what, this is what I want. I don't care that maybe I haven't been doing it all my life. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot my shot and hope for the best.
It was so much fun.
I feel like you probably thought as well, like, okay, if it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. But wow. What did you think of pageantry before you went into this? And then how has your view like changed? Like what the stereotypes and things like that?
I think so. Ever since I was younger, I would watch the Miss USA pageants, and I would get dressed up in different clothes and have a style show and everything. And it was just all my friends would have a sleepover and we would do that. But I think as I got a little older, I realized, it's like maybe just makeup and hair. And, I know you have to have a platform and stuff. And then after, the whole process of preparing for it, working hard for a platform, really figuring out what you are passionate about and what you want to stand for and like what you want to raise awareness and get involved with the community. And overall, I would just have to say that it was just the best thing you could possibly do for yourself. And I had no idea what was coming to me.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I think so the whole title of this podcast is Taking Back the Crown, and we kind of want to reshape the view on pageantry, because I feel like typically it does have such a stigmatism of, you have to be this size and you have to not really do much except look pretty and stand there. But I feel like that's such a wrong conception, a misconception that people really they think that it's all glitz and glam and nothing goes into it. But what do you think that people often get wrong about pageantry with your experience?
I think they get wrong, it's like you go into it thinking you're about to be so intimidated by all these beautiful women who have worked so hard their whole life in doing this. And it was like, everyone was so nice. We were all rooting for each other. We were all on the same page. Like, I'd be like, what shoes do I wear? And they're like, oh, not those. And so it was just like everyone was helping each other. And I would have to say that stereotype of, intimidation and, oh, my body's not fit enough, or I don't look good enough, I'm not pretty as these girls. Like the second you walk out on that stage, it's the most confidence you can probably gain for yourself. Like,
yeah, right.
And then everyone's nice. So it's like the best thing ever.
That's awesome.
As long as you're happy with yourself. So.
Yes. Yeah. Would you say that was the biggest thing that kind of changed your mind about it? I think that there's like a stereotype, obviously, that pageants are only about physical beauty, and there's the swimsuit portion and things like that. So people kind of from an outsider's perspective, they really hone in on that, and that's all they want to think about. But you now lived the reality. What do you see behind the scenes other than that changes that idea for you?
I had no idea how much work it was going to be. There is so much coaching that is involved with it. You have to practice and practice and practice for interviews, and it's a 3-minute interview, and you have to practice for like 10 months for this one 3-minute interview. And it's like certain words you want to add, and you educate yourself on, encouraging words for women and body positivity. And then like, it's just a broad spectrum of things like I got to educate myself in, and like diversity, different cultures and their traditions. Like if, you never know what question's going to come at you. So it's like, it's something that you can really educate yourself about before you go into it. And yeah.
I think that's so beautiful. That's like, that really shows that it's not all about the beauty, but it's also about the brains, and it's about your heart and what you know and how you view people and the love that you give others. So.
I had to watch the news like every single day, know what was going on. And
exactly. Then, because sometimes, especially I feel like in our generation, that doesn't happen very often anymore. So it's kind of like, that's good to put you out there and be like, okay, I'm sure you feel more like, oh wow, I'm much more educated now. I feel like more
it's like well-rounded.
Yes.
You're paying attention to everything that's going on around you. And then you're working hard constantly, like eating right, working out, and then educating yourself. And then after everything's over, you're like, I can go into any interview now. Like I know what's going on. And then it's just like overall great experience. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How do you think pageants can be used as a platform and not just competition?
As a platform and not just a competition. I would say that it's a good way to put yourself out there and not in a competition standpoint. Putting yourself out there in the community and volunteering and doing different things for other people, I would say. It gets you out there.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Okay, you've already made advocacy a big part of your journey, raising awareness for Cure PSP, mental health, and working with NAMI.
NAMI.
Okay,
yes.
NAMI. Perfect. Do you feel like pageants today make room for that kind of passion?
I feel like they do. I mean, there was a lot of girls that I know have been working with NAMI that were just running for Miss Arkansas USA. But I think with all these girls running, I think it's you pick something that's really true to yourself. Like I know I have gone through my own mental health journeys as many college students here at the university. And I thought it was something that I really wanted to stand for, as well as Cure PSP. It's a rare brain disease my father had, with only like 1 out of 100,000 people get over the age of 65. I mean, it's super rare. So, I feel like it's something, whatever's true to your heart, you speak awareness about it, and then.
Yes, exactly. I feel like the rest will come with if you really put your all into it, and you know that that's what you want to represent. And I'm sure everything just comes along.
Just falls into place.
Yes, exactly. What does it mean to redefine strength and femininity in the context of pageantry?
Redefining your strength, and oh gosh, I had no idea I was capable of getting on stage in a bikini. First of all, like I've always known I was like a confident girl, I'm goofy and I'm silly, but it kind of like pulled me together. I was like, okay, I can be all of these things, but I can also be serious sometimes too. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so I feel like it grew my confidence in a way that I know like I could do that. Like after walking off, I was like, I just did that. Like, where did that come from?
I feel like, not speaking from personal experience, but I feel like it would almost be like riding a roller coaster. You're so scared. And then once you do it, you're like, wait, that was fun. Let me do it again. Yeah. Like, I can do that.
The on-stage questions and stuff, I was like, I just know I'm going to stand there and be like, like, I can't answer. Like, I don't know. And then once they just handed me the microphone, I was like speaking about God. And they were like, it was like, God bless America.
Yes, right? Yeah.
Like, let's do this again.
Right? You kick into gear and then you're like, okay, I've got this. That's great. Oh, I'm sure because it's one weekend. It's a long weekend and you just do different things every.
I think I got like 3 hours of sleep in like 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you're waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and going to get your hair done. And then you're not stopping until 2 o'clock at night.
Wow. So as a student, a daughter, and an advocate, and then obviously a competitor now. How do you bring your full identity into a space that traditionally accepts only certain molds?
Okay. I see what you're saying. So it's like you have to come in as your true, authentic self. And if you don't, then you're doomed. You can't, if you see one girl answering a question a certain way and you're like, oh, I need to answer it. Like, I need to sound super smart right now, And then it was like, if I do that, I'm just going to look silly. So might as well just be silly about it and then be myself and not, get into your head about what other people are doing.
Exactly. Because I feel like also if you went out there and you changed who you were and you acted like someone else, I feel like most of the time that's reciprocated that well, or not well. It's reciprocated as it never truly works out unless you're yourself, and then if you do put on a facade or a face or whatever, then in the end you're like, wait, maybe I should have been myself, and I don't know what the outcome would have been, and I would much rather know the outcome of being myself than
100%
switching into a different gear.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about confidence.
Okay.
Going off of that, do you think true confidence in pageantry looks different than what people would imagine?
Yeah. I think they, when you see confidence, you're like, well, they're so beautiful. They're confident, they're fine. But I think it really comes within, and you have to your faith and everything you believe in and everything and you stand for and how you're raised. It really just comes out to be like, I got this, I think. Right, if I answered that correctly.
Yes, no, that's perfect. If you were to describe this new generation of title holders in a sentence or two, how would you? I feel like it's much different than the generations above us.
Yeah. I would feel like they're more advocate. I feel like they're doing a lot of great things and they're volunteering. And since, most of these girls are starting so young and our world is just revolving around mental health and, raising awareness for all cultures and everyone and educating all of us, I feel like they're really doing a great job so far at that is what I've seen.
Yes, I think so as well. I think it's definitely changed more, even since we were younger, I feel like, into something that you truly put your whole heart into.
Yeah.
And you show up for your community and really put yourself out there, and then just at that point, let it all fall into place. Because if the judges see that, then they're obviously going to be like, this girl knows what she's doing. She loves her community. She loves people. She's kind-hearted. And then I feel like it all just works out.
You truly have to be kind-hearted and compassionate. And I feel like I've seen that with these past girls. Just with these past girls, like I was competing, I'm not competing with, but that were competing for Miss Teen Arkansas USA, and just so kind. And then, but you're representing your county. So you have to love people and you have to love everyone.
Yes, exactly. Okay, you shared such a heartfelt message after the pageant, especially the part about your dad.
Yeah.
You mentioned sending a kiss to heaven, I believe. If you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, completely comfortable.
How has his memory and influence shaped this journey for you?
Wow. So I had no idea that I was going to pop out and raise awareness for his illness at first. And then that was something I was really wanting to do. And then I kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, well, mental health is, a national emergency, and it's especially in the state of Arkansas. And it's something I've gone through. It was a 7-year prolonging of him getting sicker and sicker every day. And so I found out when I was 16 in a high school bathroom that he had dementia, and then it changed to something else. And so I think that I really struggled with mental health and trying to fit in high school, and then moving to the university and always living in what if something happens that I'm not there. And it really stopped me from living in my now. And so, I kind of outgrew that a little bit as I got a little bit older, and then I've never not lived in my now more, but he really always empowered me to do anything I wanted to do and to live my dream. And thanks to my mom, she is 100% backed me up through everything. So I cannot be even more blessed to have two best parents ever.
That's amazing. Going off of that,
Yeah.
you also shouted out your mom,
Uh-huh.
of course. What has her presence truly meant to you throughout all of this? Because I'm sure she's been your little sidekick, helping you through it all.
Yeah. She's like my little sister. I want to say little because she's so tiny, but she's really like my sister. So we've gotten like so close when she was taking care of my dad and stuff. So, I mean, she's like, okay, we'll do it. And then my grandmother actually was like Miss Fort Worth. I don't remember what year, but my mom was always in beauty pageants and stuff growing up.
Very cool.
Because she had to put herself through like different things like school and stuff. So she was like, I just got to be in a beauty pageant. So she told me, she's like, I've never been so proud of you getting on stage and speaking about God. And she's like, she just start bawling, crying, but she's such a great supporter to me. Yeah.
What has your faith meant to you throughout all of this? Because I'm sure it would be hard, you know, like I'm sure it's been a roller coaster of emotions and, you know, probably confident one day and then the next, you're like, don't know if I can do this. And then who do you reach to?
I think that the past 6 months, I have never been like personally closer with God. And I think it's something that you know, you can keep private, you can keep public or whatever it is, but it's like you wait till the right moment to share his name, because I was like, shout out to God, by the way. But it's just like constantly talking to him and knowing that he's with you all the time and just praying for wisdom, really what it is. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I feel like that's all you can do. You know, you can trust yourself and know yourself, but then also just you have to sometimes put faith in other things and hope for the best, and that's it. Just be positive.
Just trust his outcome.
Exactly. How did it feel being surrounded by so much support, friends, family, your coach, and then being voted people's choice by the public?
I don't think I've ever felt so loved. It was just like an overwhelming like sense of wow, like, you know, you've worked so hard and then everyone shows up to support you, and it's like God has surrounded you with the most amazing people you could ever ask for. And it's like, this is what I've been praying for. And he's finally like blessed me. And like, I know like these are the right people in my life. And it was just so amazing. And my mom's friends on Facebook all voting for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice.
Break it down for me. So for people who may not know, how does the weekend work?
Okay. So, get ready. So you drive to Russellville, and then we booked like an Airbnb, but normally all the girls stay in a hotel. And so you go and get your hair and makeup done at 5 a.m. Then you wait till 8 a.m. and it's registration time. And so that's when you're meeting like all the girls and everything. And it was a lot. I'm like, what even happened that weekend?
Right, kind of blacked out a little bit. You're just like, I don't remember.
And then you get to go home for a little bit. Then at 12 o'clock comes around, rehearsal to like 5 o'clock. And then it's time to get on stage at 7 o'clock. And then you're not done until 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And then you go home and then do it again the next day.
Yes, I can't imagine how your skin felt after that weekend.
Oh my gosh. No, they put like special effects makeup, like setting spray on my face. I was like,
yeah, like trying not to like, it's like hairspray. Yeah. That is wild. That sounds like so much fun though. I'm sure it was like a beat down after.
Yeah.
Yeah, your body's probably still catching up to you.
Yeah, and then I just went straight to my mom. She was like, I'm going on vacation with my friends. I was like, okay, I'll come with you. And then I just got back like 2 nights ago, and I was like, I'm so behind on school. Like I'm trying to catch up. But it's gonna be okay.
Right? Oh my gosh. How do you balance that? Because I feel like you're, in my mind, an influencer. You have followers and you do the things. And now with pageantry and how did you balance school and preparing for that? Because it is such a strenuous preparation.
I think literally like I had to say no to, you know, going to lunch or, you know, literally anything. Like, do you want to go to the grocery store? Like, I had to wake up so early every day, like 5 o'clock sometimes. Well, sometimes. I scheduled my classes like Tuesday, Thursday, so I can have like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do my homework. And then Tuesday, Thursday, you're doing coaching and you're, you know, on Zoom calls all the time. And towards the end, it got really difficult. I was like, hey, teachers, like, professor, like, I really need some extra time. And they're like, okay, you got it. So I was
Yes.
like, thank goodness for my professors because y'all are awesome.
Right. I bet it felt so good to be given grace. You're like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. That's why. And I feel like that right there just shows the difference between what a lot of outsiders think of pageantry, you know, that you spent hours and hours preparing, but also you're a student and you have a life outside of pageantry. So I just think that's so cool. Being able to balance it. It's like, it's honestly like a student athlete, in my opinion.
I would think so.
I think it's like so much work and sun up, sun down, and after sundown, actually, I'm sure.
And then it's like, you know, I'm trying to go home some weekends and see my friends. But
also
you do get time to do whatever you want to do. But it's like you want to make time for yourself, too, to be like, okay, I need a face mask right now. I need to lay in bed and turn on Netflix.
Especially with you being such an advocate for mental health, I bet that like stepping out of it and you were really like, okay, what I'm preaching, I have to practice. I can't be so about mental health awareness and everything and then not
do it.
Yes, right?
It's like, okay, get your journal and write down what you're going to do at each different time of the day.
Right.
This is what you're going to do and you're going to stick to it. And then you're going to write how you feel about this day and what that day.
Yes, yeah. I'm sure that helped a lot. I always feel like getting things down on paper or telling someone or things like that kind of just feel like a weight lifted off instead of keeping everything in. You really left your mark on your first pageant. Like I'm very proud of you.
Well,
that
thank
is
you.
crazy. Do you see yourself continuing in this space, or do you think that maybe it was just a one time?
I don't think it's a one-time thing. I think it's just the beginning of my advocacy for helping others and getting involved with the community and stuff, just because of how I feel it's made me grow so much. Like it was insane. Like I'm like, am I a grown woman right now? But I'm not. I don't think it's over yet. But you know, the first week I'm like, I'm really hungry right now. It's not really. I mean, I ate whatever I wanted. Like before I went on stage, I had like chicken nuggets and stuff.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that.
So no. But yeah,
probably didn't have much time to eat, much time to do.
I was like,
yeah, right. You're like,
on stage, just
okay, beautiful. Right. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. What advice would you? Well, no. Firstly, I'm gonna ask you. How do you think little Bleu would have felt about this?
Oh my goodness, I think she would have been like, I don't even know what to think, because sometimes I'm like, who was that little girl? You know,
Right.
And then you look back, it's like you're the same person. You're the same exact person. And I think little Bleu would have been like beyond proud and more confident in herself in middle school and, you know, in high school. And it's just like those times you just want to really go back and be like, everything is going to be okay.
Right.
And it's all going to work out and you got this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think back to moments like that in middle school and things like that where I was like, I just thought things were the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then it's like you grow up and you're like, you don't remember anything that you were worried about then. You're kind of just like, okay, don't remember anything that happened.
I think more people need to know that. Like everything is going to be okay.
Exactly.
And you think like it's not, like it will be.
Yes.
Just give it time.
Yeah. And I feel like as a woman too, it's very hard to balance everything, you know, and beauty standards now and being just an advocate for yourself. Being like, I'm smart, I'm here, I'm a woman, see me, you know? And so I think that at some point we all kind of think, oh, it's the end of the world, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then 5 days from then you're like, wait, okay, I was kind of upset for no reason.
Like I was a little overacting.
Right.
Guys. Sorry. It was just like.
No, yes. What advice would you give to someone younger or even our age who doesn't see themselves as the ideal pageant type or pageant queen?
I would say that they are. I mean, I think our world has revolved around so many different, you know, aspects of things, and that beauty standards are really unrealistic, especially on Instagram and social media. And I think that the next generation needs to get off of it. As fun as it is, but I think our beauty standards are revolving and people are noticing like, okay, that's unrealistic. This is who I am. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
Exactly. And I completely agree. I think that it is something that we kind of have to be more aware of. That everything that we're looking at online is just a version of a real human being. It's not perfect. It's not their real life. It's just what they choose to show.
Right.
You know, you're not seeing them maybe having a mental breakdown about a test or, just living real life. Like you see them as, oh, here's the food that I ate today, and here's my pictures with my friends at this concert or things like that. And you think that, oh, their life is just perfect. And I think that it's so easy to get in your head, like, but mine's not like that. How do I quit this? How do I change this? And especially with, younger girls now, like I have a younger sister and I'm really just like, don't believe everything you see on Instagram. No. You don't have to be this perfect body type, and it's ever changing what the beauty standard is, you know? And
it's
so I feel
always revolving. And it's like, we cannot keep up with this.
Yes.
Like just crumble it, toss it.
As women, it's like, honestly, it takes a lot to really truly be like in love with yourself, like love everything about you. But I think once you do, you kind of realize that, everyone has their flaws. Everyone has their insecurities. Kim Kardashian could have her insecurities, and everybody. Yeah. So it's just like, you kind of have to separate yourself.
Yes.
And realize that, these things aren't real.
You are you.
Yes, exactly. And that's the most beautiful thing.
No one is better than you.
Exactly.
And we're all the same. And then it's just like, just accept that.
Exactly.
Move on.
Okay. Finally, what does taking back the crown mean to you?
Taking back the crown to me means taking it all in of everything I prepared for, everything I did, donations, giveaways, posting, making graphics, doing volunteer work, going to the food bank. And overall, it's like taking that in. That's your crown. I mean, crown or not, that is your crown of what you did, how hard you worked. You take that back, and that's taking
beautiful.
It back.
All the hard work that you did, I'm sure is so rewarding within itself that it's like.
It's just so rewarding. You accept it. And this is like, I did the very best I could. I did everything I could do for others and, to the best of my abilities, but you just accept that. And it's like, that's your crown.
Exactly. Oh, that's amazing. Is there anything else you would like to add? Anybody you would like to shout out? Or
shout out, Mom.
Yes. Love shouting out the moms. I think, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Truly,
thank you
for having
me.
So much. I think that there's so many women who can learn from this and men and everyone can learn that, it's not all about how your hair looks, what your body looks like, even the dress that you wear. It's truly about the person
you are within yourself.
Exactly. And what you bring to the table and the love that you give others. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for watching. My name is Fallon Frank, and this is Taking Back the Crown.
Bye.